Morning everyone. Here's another video in my Hiatus series, and it's about my dive trip to Palau. Now, a lot of my old subscribers, people who've been with me a long time, know when I go on a dive trip, generally I'll put a video for every site or every day. But again, you know, I wasn't on YouTube and I was just doing a lot of diving. So I thought I'd share with you the highlights of my Palau trip. It's a great place. I think it's in Micronesia. I think it's Micronesia is the area called where it's located. It's a group of beautiful islands, and it only has a population of 20,000 people. And it's quite an interesting country because everyone is permitted to live and work in the USA without a green card or visa. So it's like a American protected or economic partnership territory. I think they call it COFA. But the people are very, very nice. Obviously, a lot of the workforce are not from Palau. A lot of Filipinos there. The Philippines is very close politically with Palau, and you fly to Koror, the capital, from Manila. It's the best flight on United Airlines. So I had a great time. I'm debating whether I go back this year and do a full sort of Brian Davis scuba trip video with all the dive sites and every day. Still thinking about that. I've got to make a decision within the next couple of weeks. So these are just really the sort of 5 really, really good sites that I enjoyed. All the sites are good. I didn't mean it like that, but you know, I wasn't filming every single dive, and these were like the iconic, that's a better word, the iconic sites. So we start off just with a sequence showing you how we got to the site. We used a fast boat every day. The trip was organised by Dive Plan of the Philippines, and very well organised it was too. And the local partner was a Filipino-run dive operation called Palau Scuba Adventures. What a great bunch of people. You couldn't want for better service. So yeah, I'm very happy to give Dive Plan and Palau Scuba Adventures a big plug. So you'll see that coming up first, and then we'll have a chat about each of the site before that video comes up. You can see it's the next day. I'm wearing a different t-shirt, and it's not a hard rock one this time. I forgot, on the Palau trip we also had an island visit to a historic battle site from World War II called Pelileu. So after the last dive, I've put in a little sequence of that island. Very, very interesting. It was a big Japanese base. I'll tell you more about it just before the video. The most famous site in Palau. It's called German Channel, and it's famous for manta action, and it didn't disappoint. Just have a look at this clip now, and absolutely enjoyed it. We went back twice, it was so good. So yeah, definitely a big thumbs up for German Channel. second iconic dive site is Blue Corner, and although it was pretty and it was a good drift dive, we didn't really see the amount of sharks that I would expect to see in Palau. Having said that, we did have some nice grey reefs. They did come in close, but overall would have expected to see more shark, but that's just the way it is, right? There's never, big pelagics are never guaranteed, but still a really good site, and we did have some sharks, so again, another thumbs up. Now we'll dive the Siaes Tunnel, which is a big swim through come cavern, and what a spectacular dive it is. Very, very safe, good visibility, not really any risk of silt ups because it's so big. So great introduction to cavern diving, and I guess some people would say cave diving, but really it's a cavern. We do have a cave coming up right at the end, spoiler alert. But yeah, lovely dive as you can see from the footage. Again, definitely recommended. There is also leading to the tunnel a nice drift dive called the Siaes Wall, which I didn't film. I understand there's a lot of wrecks from World War II in Palau, but I didn't research them or anything, and we only dived one. I think it's called the Teshio Maru, which was a Japanese cargo craft in World War II, about 100 meters long, 3,000 tons, sunk in 1944. Goes down to about 24 meters. Lovely wreck, lots of life on there. The vis wasn't great when we were on it. Usually the vis is pretty good, but having said that, the marine life was beautiful. In particular, I locked on to one fish at a cleaning station, and he performed for 10 or 15 minutes for me. As you'll see, you're not going to watch him for 10 or 15 minutes. You've just got the highlights. finally, a site very close to Koror, the capital city. It's called Chandelier Cave, and it is a big open cavern with a cave system in it. And the great thing about it, it's so beautiful, it's so big, you can see the exit all times. There's no need to line your way in, and you've got areas where you can surface, have a chat as you can see, and then swim back out. So yeah, very safe cavern dive. Again, some could call it a cave, but we're not penetrating, we're essentially diving the big cavern space. Easy to enter, and at the end I'll introduce you to most of the team, because I filmed them all coming out, or most of them anyway. Yeah, so this was one of our last dives, I think the last dive, and what a great way to end a trip. Again, hats off to Dive Plan Philippines and Palau Scuba Adventures. So next stop is just some pictures and showing you the island of Pelileu, which was a big Japanese air base in World War II, and it was of strategic value to the Americans because General MacArthur needed to secure that air base before he invaded the Philippines. So it was a really tough battle, lasted 73 days with thousands of people lost in battle. But finally the Japanese succumbed. The commander, I think his name was Nagawa, threw in the towel, committed suicide, and it was over. And MacArthur then proceeded, once he'd captured the airbase, they were operational within 2 days with American planes, and operating out of there, attacking other Japanese positions in the area and ships, and then they went for the Philippines, and of course we all know they were successful. So it's just a short clip just to give you a taste of what Pelileu's like. Very interesting. We went in the caves, a big cave complex that the Japanese used. So if you go to Palau, definitely worth a visit to Pelileu, and just to see the battle site and the old airfield. that Palau trip. I do have the opportunity to go back. I'm still deciding. I would really like to go and spend the time and do a typical Brian Davis scuba report, where I film every dive site and report every day. Let's see. If that's going to happen, it's going to be November. I've still not decided. But anyway, thanks for watching. I would appreciate likes, subscriptions and comments, because YouTube loves them. But anyway, see you next time.